in the big finish tonight, it is a big story, biggest story of this election season. One thing Republicans didn't talk about at their convention and their party were the GOP voter suppression efforts that were struck down in the courts just this week. On Tuesday, a three-judge panel unanimously struck down a redistricting plan in Texas. On Wednesday, a federal judge said that he would permanently remove Florida's restrictions on third-party voter registration groups. That's good news again. And on Thursday, a three-judge panel unanimously struck down a Texas voter ID law. And today, in the most crucial electoral state in the country, an Ohio federal judge sided with the Obama campaign and ordered the state to restore 3 days of early voting for all voters before Election Day. Now, when Ohio allowed early voting in 2008, it boosted turnout and helped President Obama win elections. So Republicans, what they do? Well, they changed the law so that only the military and those overseas could vote early. Now, when the Obama campaign sued to restore the voting rights for everyone, Ohio Republicans and Mitt Romney pretended the president was attacking the military.
Any effort to impede the right of our military members overseas or here domestically in voting would be an extraordinary violation of the trust that we should have for those who serve so valiantly.
Flat out nasty spin, or he just doesn't know the issue. Mitt Romney knows he needs Ohio if he wants to become the next president of the United States. Luckily, the judge didn't buy that bogus argument. Everyone in the state now has equal access to the polls, the way it's supposed to be in America. This decision is a huge victory for democracy and the Obama administration, because the man who wins Ohio is probably going to be the next president of the United States. But they may have tricks still up their sleeve. For more on that, let's go to Ohio State Senator Nina Turner. Senator, great to have you with us tonight. First of all, put into context for us just how big a ruling this is in favor of democracy.
It's extraordinary, Ed. The U.S. District Judge did rule, as you have so eloquently illustrated for your viewers, that it is unconstitutional. The statute that was set up by the Ohio General Assembly is unconstitutional. Now that all voters, both civilian and military voters, will have equal access to the ballot the last 3 days before Election Day. This is extraordinary for democracy in Ohio. And also on Monday, Ed, let us not forget, another U.S. District Judge ruled that the state cannot toss out ballots that are cast based on poll worker error. Another victory. So we had a victory on Monday in this state, and we had a victory today in this state for democracy and for the voters of Ohio.
Attorney General Mike DeWine, who's a former U.S. Senator for the Republicans, said that he was going to appeal the decision. He's continuing to use the military privileges as the excuse for restricting other voting rights. How do Democrats fight back on this one, Senator?
Well, it baffles my mind, Ed, that the AG would say that he is planning to appeal this. If he appeals this, make no mistake, it will not just hurt civilian voters, but it will help hurt the very military voters that he is claiming to defend. It makes no sense to try to take away access to the ballot for any voters in Ohio, be they military or civilian. So it's shameful that he would even say that he is going to appeal it. Now, the Secretary of State is saying that he's reviewing it, but the AG, within an hour of the judge's decision, has already declared that he is going to appeal it, and it would be it would be absolutely wrong to do that.
What is the next trick the Republicans are going to play before Election Day to suppress the vote in Ohio? What do you think they have in store now?
Well, you know, Ed, they've already caused a lot of confusion in the state of Ohio. God only knows what other tricks they may have up their sleeves. But we want the voters to remain vigilant, to understand the rules of engagement, and to make sure that they vote. We are not going to be turned around. We are not going to let the Republicans stop us from doing what we know is right. And that the right thing is to make sure that voters have access to the ballot. If they do try to appeal this, Ed, that would be absolutely wrong. But regardless of what they decide they're going to do, we are going to continue to make sure that the voters in this state are educated, that they know their rights, and that they get out to vote. We will not be turned around.
Do you think President Obama is in good shape in Ohio?
I think he is, Ed, but we're going to make sure that he is, because we're going to make sure that people get out to vote. We're not going to go on a wing and a prayer. We're going to go on some sweat equity here, and we're going to make sure that our president makes history again, and the state of Ohio is going to do its part to make sure. So as long as the Republicans take away their dirty tricks department, because we got to watch out for that, we will ensure that the voters get out there and that they vote for our president.
Ohio State Senator Nina Turner, a victory for democracy this week in the Buckeye State. Great to have you with us tonight.